Welcome back to Living Life with a Helmet. I know it's been a minute and we missed you, but Belushi and Wiggins are back in the studio with the helmets on tight to talk about the perceived superpowers we're starting to hear about those ADHD kids. Strap in, people. This one gets interesting.
What up, gangsta?
What up? Oh shit,
How
are
we
we back
doing?
finally? Did we do
Wah,
this
wah,
again?
wah, 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 wah.
Everybody,
Yeah.
check us out. We made it.
Hey, you guys think we gave up on you? You think we quit on you?
Probably.
Did you think that brother and sister were fighting?
Did you think that the ADHD got the best of us? It did for a little bit, actually. It did
If you
a
chose
tiny
that
bit.
last answer, you were correct.
You were right.
Ding, ding, ding. Wah, wah, wah. What do you get? A brand new episode. Fresh, live, full of caffeine.
Fresh from the studio. 9 a.m. jacked and ready to go.
72 degrees before it gets to 98.
Oh, very nice. You're hitting 98? We're at 78 already. We're at 78.
Yeah, 77 right now.
Okay, all right. We're riding
What
the
up,
same
girl?
train. What's up, dude?
I feel like I'm even holding the mic like an MC, like, what up, yo?
We're ready to go. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Bah, 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 bah. Just complete stimming at the beginning of the episode. I absolutely
ready
love it.
to fuck shit up.
Yes.
Let's see if I can
All
turn
right,
the sound up a
so
little bit here.
can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
That's good. After all that, I'm checking if you can hear me. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Roger
There
that.
we go. All right.
So, we had the niece's graduation party on Sunday, and
wild.
I was
I can't
talking.
believe
I
that
know,
shit.
dude. We've been married for 15 years, going in September. Been together 17 years,
Damn.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that kid grow up. So it was wild. God, I'm old. I mean, you could see it in my beard, right?
Eating your
But
jowls.
in my jowls. I was talking to one of the wife's cousins who's similar in age to us, a couple years younger, and she's just like, dude, absolutely love the podcast. So I was
Cool,
like,
man.
she's like, I totally like identify with everything. And I was like, well, don't be afraid to comment on anything and things like that.
Yes,
and I'm
please,
sitting
please,
there, I'm
feel
like,
free.
dude, like, I'm asking somebody to comment on things that we're not even posting. Like, we've completely hiatused everyone. Like, it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I
It's
told,
like,
I told Mr.
our crowd
Wiggins
is so
the same.
ADHD as us.
I told Mr. Wiggins the same thing. I was like, yeah, I feel like we're gonna have to like rebuild some stuff here. Put in a little extra legwork to get the juices going, get the vibes going back again, make sure people know that we didn't actually give up on what we were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. We didn't. It's life. We're here. We're excited. We have things to talk about. You know, we've had some episodes, and correct me if I'm wrong if this is the direction you want to go, but I was thinking about it, but we've had so many episodes where we've kind of talked about the brutal truth. I was about to say the brutality of ADHD at times, but the brutal truth, if you will, right?
Yeah.
The brutal truth of like the dark side of ADHD or like the struggles of ADHD. But what we haven't gotten to and what we've never really talked about is that the positive side, the
Yeah.
part that's lost because all that's ever heard is don't do this, don't do that, you know, redirecting, telling you you're wrong, telling you you're too emotional, telling you you're overthinking, right? That it doesn't talk about the piece that what actually drives all of those instincts that come from our brain.
Right.
And those instincts are empathy and care, deep care for our people.
Deeply caring
right?
people, compassion, you know. There's so much goodness built into the ADHD brain or the neurodivergent brain that I don't know. I guess maybe gets overlooked in in the society and culture that we have that is like you said, is always like, calm down, focus, pay attention, don't act this way, stop twiddling your thumb, stop bouncing your knee. I'm bouncing my knee right now as I say this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the external cues that people see and hear from someone with a neurodivergent brain. But on the inside of that, the things that you don't see, um, is this, like you said, this deep empathy and kindness and compassion. Like ADHD people are wired for empathy, and it's something that we you and I exchange things on Instagram all the time. I mean, just like everybody else, this is a form of communication and staying in touch. It's a love language, sending the memes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you shared something with me a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, damn, that is so good that is a whole episode by itself.
100%. See,
And
look at
you,
this.
yep,
Time out. We did not have a pre-session, anybody. This is full blast ADHD, knowing one another
yep,
as well as we do, knowing that we wanted to talk about the positive side going into this. So
yep.
continue,
The
please.
brain waves just syncing up. It's like
Wah,
women
wah,
on their
wah.
menstrual cycle just syncing up with each other.
No, I don't want to talk about that. That's a conversation to have in my household right now, as my daughter has entered womanhood.
Oh, bless everybody in your household. Sorry, buddy.
But I joked 10 years ago that Noah and I were gonna get an apartment together when this started happening. Here we are. I'm like seriously considering. I'm like, can I afford that?
Yeah, maybe we
I
should.
don't think I can. Not
Maybe we
yet.
should.
Uh,
So let's
keep going.
So I was like, dude, let's just read this post
Yes.
on the pod, and let's just flow. Let's just jam on it. So
That's right.
if you're cool with it, let's jump straight in. This is, man, we are locked in right now, by the way. We are just under 7 minutes in, and we are ready to go straight into a topic. I don't think this has ever happened.
Can I do the James Earl Jones voice? It sounds fun.
Please.
Like, what if ADHD makes you a better person?
That was so good. That was your
Thank
veteran
you.
voice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. How does that feel, baby?
Lower.
How does that feel, baby? All right, for real.
All right.
Here we go.
It says, for decades, we've been seeing ADHD as this collection of problems. Can't focus, too impulsive, emotionally all over the place. And this view showed up everywhere in people's lives. Kids getting labeled as the disruptive one in class. I know about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Adults having their emotional reactions called unprofessional at work. People being told that their sensitivity was just too much. But then this massive 2022 study came across 5 countries that showed a complete opposite side of ADHD. Researchers went in expecting to document all the usual struggles. Go ahead, buddy. What's up?
Time out. All right, time out there. Let's talk through that some.
All right, ready. Also,
Right.
let me give a quick shout out to the original poster. It is on Instagram, ADHDizzle_.
Yes.
So thank you, Dizzle.
Yes. Thank you, Dizzle. You're the shizzle.
Really glad
So
you did that.
that was awesome. Getting labeled as the disruptive one, absolutely the case. And I can tell you, I remember in Latin class in high school, I was the disruptive one day.
One day.
There was a self-inflatable whoopee cushion I had, and I'd walk in and just like slide it under my friend's seat, and he sat down and let rip. And our teacher was this like poor 70-year-old woman, God rest her soul.
Oh, bless.
Miss Cherry, the sweetest thing in the world, all of like 4'11", and she was like, "Who did that?" Yeah, she was wonderful. She was a cherry, and I just kept walking around the room and just putting it in people's spots, and just kept getting like in it. So finally, somebody called me out because I just wouldn't stop doing it. Like I was just full blast ADHD, like dopamine ripping through my brain. Like, this is hilarious, right? Oh, that's so funny. Another one, though, is that unprofessional at work. I've never had that issue. Like work, I've always locked in. Like
Yeah.
I will say in my circle of trusts, I will unmask and unleash the Tupac side of me to get it out. It doesn't mean that those are real feelings. It's just, I
Sure.
got to get this out of me.
You gotta have your safe people at work too, otherwise you'll go
Yeah.
crazy.
But let's be honest, dude, there's things that can fly out of your mouth where sometimes even the closest people, you're like, oh, what?
Sorry.
Really?
Don't know where
You're
that
like,
came from.
Okay, I can't take it back, but I would like to reverse a little bit in the sense of I don't truly mean that.
I don't really mean
That-
that, but my brain is
That
just
was that was an
rocking
anger
on-
tick.
Yeah, anger tick, talking in
I'm sorry.
hyperbole. Happens all
Right.
the time.
And the sensitivity of being told sensitivity too much, right? Like that's a real thing. Because
Especially
our
as a woman
emotions-
too.
Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
completely. I feel that.
Yeah.
Now, I can assume that they are dealing with my daughter, with ADHD. I can tell the difference there, and so I try to give grace, but
Mhm.
it's still challenging overall as a male too, because the overthinking patterns do get you deep into thought, and you just feel your feelings deeper.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
neurodivergence. So I wanted to pause just to level set. These aren't just words. Like we've been talking about these things.
Yeah.
It's just wanted to level set real quick so that we can continue moving forward, and a nice little, Sylvester Stallone cliffhanger, if you will, for the next slide. So continue.
All right, let's do this. All right, so I talked about the 2022 study that was across 5 countries that showed a complete opposite side of ADHD. The researchers were expecting all the usual struggles that we know about, we've talked about before. But instead, they kept, and I love this. This was the part where I was like, damn, we got to talk about this.
I got the goosebumps.
Right, for all over. It says, instead, they kept hearing the same descriptions over and over. Ready? Kind, compassionate, socially warm, always ready to help. And this wasn't just once in a while, this was consistent across the board. And it says, so here's what's actually happening. And I said this earlier. ADHD brains are wired for deeper empathy. People with ADHD are the ones stepping in to comfort others, offering help before anyone asks, picking up on emotional signals everyone else misses. And let's talk about that, and then we'll wrap up the slides here, because and here is one of the things where I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about this, but then I was like, oh, this is a little bit uncomfy because I don't like talking about myself, like in a, I don't know, congratulatory look at me kind of way, but the things that are ticked off here: kind, compassionate, socially warm, always ready to help. I really feel that I am these things. I am sure, just like anybody, I have my days where I'm a total asshole. I have my days where none of these apply. But I also know that you are all of these things too. And I'm thinking of the other ADHD people that I know, which are quite a few. And all of these check the boxes. I have a good friend of mine, and I've talked about her before. She and I did the crazy squirrel bike ride during COVID. She, without getting into heavy emotional stuff, my dad was sick. I had a baby. And he went through a really hard episode where we weren't sure if he was going to make it much longer, whatever. So my daughter was 6 months old, and my parents live about 30-40 minutes from where I am. And I was a mess. I was postpartum. I had a baby. I didn't know up from down. My dad was sick, all these things. I still had a business that I was running. I was trying to be everything to everybody all at the same time. And I don't remember if I texted people or if I put something out on Facebook, but I was like, I need help. I need a crib for my parents' house because we didn't have like a nursery set up at my parents' house. Because again, my dad had gotten sick while I was pregnant, and so it was just like, well, that's the only focus. No other focus. So this friend of mine, two friends, my friend that I did the bike ride with that moved out to Colorado, and another really good friend of mine who lives in another town about 20 minutes away. They both are ADHD, and they jumped in, and it's just the same shit that we've talked about, like being exceptionally good and calm in crisis. These two swooped in, and they were like dusting their hands off. I got you, bitch. And one of them found me a crib for free from somebody else. The other friend picked it up, delivered it to my parents' house, 40 minutes from where she lives. And they got all this done for me so that I could spend more time at my parents' house and help my mom and be with my dad and still make sure my daughter, my baby had her naps and my baby was set. And she showed up one day. This is my bike ride friend. She showed up one day and she had a backpack, a little kid backpack full of baby food and diapers and wipes. And she was, and onesies and bibs, like all kinds of just shit. And she was like, this is your go bag, so you don't have to think about things. And this was just like out of the blue. And she and I were relatively new friends. And she just did this shit. And it's a kindness that I have never forgotten and I will never forget. But it is so on topic, so poignant for what we are talking about right now. Yes, but there are plenty of people in the world with deep empathy and kindness and compassion, but this shit like sticks out. These two women who are wonderful, strong, important women in my life still. ADHD as fuck. Just showed up and they're like, we got you. They're like, this is a really chaotic, like just calm as I could be. This is a really chaotic situation. This is stressful as fuck. But you know what? We got you, boo. We got you.
Yeah.
And they did. So
Bravo.
that's that's my little story corner for this slide, and it couldn't be more true in my brain. And this was a good way for me not to talk about myself. I deflected a little bit, but
you did a really good job there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
but these are traits, these are traits, and it's amazing to me that there was this massive study done that brought these wonderful, glowing, warm, delightful qualities of ADHD to the surface. Because it is really like all the bad things, like, they have ADHD, they're a fucking mess, they're unorganized, they can't be on time, da 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 da. And we know all those things about us too, but this is the stuff too that needs to have a little spotlight. And I think this is fucking great. This is awesome.
Yeah, it is cool. It's really cool, and I'm glad you shared that. I appreciate you sharing that. That was a really cool story.
And I think this is really good for our kids to know about too.
Absolutely.
Because as
100%.
As kids, you and I were kids growing up with ADHD, we didn't hear the good stuff.
Yeah.
And now our kids will.
And it's so funny because I want to talk about the opposite side of it, because I think it's worth talking about in the sense of like our own brains. And I can tell you that I know that there's people that listen to this at times that I know I have made enemies in the past of my own ADHD and my own impulsivity.
Totally.
And I haven't said the nicest or treated nicest. And I know I've apologized for that on this kind of podcast. I think we both have done that kind of like in the beginning of this. Right. And so, with that, there's going to be people that are like, yep, that absolutely checks out. Like, there's no way this guy is completely changed. But here's the thing. because of the growing up of always being told no, always being redirected, always being too much, always being something other than not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
For me, and I love how my wife puts this because it's the way she put it to my daughter when she was younger, when she got diagnosed, is ADHD gives you the power to be a superhero or a villain. It's up to you which one you choose. And if you're
That's
not
nice.
careful, it's awesome and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not careful because of based off of the environment you live in, and I'm not saying I lived in a negative environment growing up.
Sure.
I lived in a chaotic environment growing up simply because divorce, we've talked about all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so that effect on me came out as I hid my compassion and empathy and things as a younger adult,
Yeah.
and wouldn't actually face my challenges of just like being like, hey, dude, like that's not who you are. Like, it's okay. And it took me to getting into my 40s
Mm-hmm.
to think through that. Right. And so, like, now I can say that, for the past forever, I have those qualities. But now it's starting to come out of my shell more of just not my circle, right? Like, I've
Yeah.
talked pretty heavily about my circle. Like, I'll go to
Mm-hmm.
great lengths for my circle.
Absolutely.
But like, I'm noticing, like, the other day I was at the tattoo shop and I was getting some ink and I was talking to the guy who owns the shop who I get the work done from. Old North State Tattoo, by the way, Winston-Salem.
Shout
Absolute
out.
shout out to them. Absolute free plug to them. Guys are
You've
awesome
got
over
great
there.
art.
Brandon Monday. He's a beast. Call for appointments if you're in the area. If you want traditional, it's awesome.
Hell yeah.
But anyway, so I'm in there and I'm like, I'm looking over and I'm like, dude, what is that machine over there? He's like, oh man, it's something I got to throw out in the trash. He's like, probably just gonna throw it in the Forerunner and like dump it, out of another, can. He's like, I don't want to do it over here because I'm sure some broke druggie will probably try to take it out of the trash and throw it in a windshield. I'm like, yeah, I could see that. I was like, well, dude, just throw it in the back of the truck. Like, I've got a permit for a free ride to the landfill. I got to go to the landfill soon. And he's like, sick. So I'm like, damn, I would have never offered that to anybody. Why'd you offer that? I'm like, but that felt really good. Like, I'm glad I offered that. Like, I wanted to.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
it was just a natural instinct. The funny
Yeah.
part is, he's ADHD as fuck as well.
Yeah.
And so we got the ink done and we're talking, and then we completely forgot about the machine. So I think it's still sitting at the shop. But if it's still, I go on.
That was the best ending to the story ever.
Yeah. But I go again on Friday for some new ink. So if it's still there, maybe it's the first thing we do before we
That's fantastic.
before I lay down to get some new ink.
That's so good. That's so
but
good.
yeah, and I love this because we also use humor in this podcast because I think we're both funny as fuck. I will say that about us if we talk about anything. It's easy to talk about the negative side of things for ourselves, right? But gosh darn, like the positive side is hard. But I also want to stop and take a moment to find the humor in this post, where it goes, and this wasn't just once in a while. This was consistent. Here's what I can tell you about my life. There is one thing that I am fucking consistent about. It's being inconsistency. Exactly.
Yep.
Right?
That's funny as shit because I noticed that too.
I was like, damn. I was like, for real? For real?
Check out these ADHD motherfuckers being consistent.
Okay. Like, look at us. Huh?
Well done. Well done, family.
I was like, I want to frame that sentence.
Tattoo that across your shoulders.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah. But I love this. And I say this at the house all the time, where it says, which means we're literally built to notice what others don't. Yes. It annoys the hell out of my wife, and I know it does, and it annoys me too, to no end. Not her, me, that I notice everything. Because I'm like, you know who I am, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I can see through shit, right?
Right.
Like,
Can't hide it.
you can't
Can't
hide
hide
it
it.
from me. So what's
Mhm.
going on,
Mhm.
right?
I can pick
And
up on
so,
shit before,
oh
like, people
man,
that I love. I'd be like, "What's going on? You okay?" They're like, "Yeah, why?
hmm
What do you mean?" I'm like, "I don't know. You just something's a little bit weird, a little bit off. Energy feels different." And
hmm
it'll be like a full 24 or 48 hours, and they're like, "Yeah, you know, something, something, this was going on, or I just
hmm
realized that such and such was really bothering me." And I'm like, "Oh, there it is. Okay."
yeah, cool.
I already
Well,
knew something was up. I just didn't know
yeah.
exactly what. And clearly you didn't
Thanks for
either.
letting me know what it was. I knew there was something there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how can you tell? Well, your tone's different, just
Mhm.
slightly off. I can tell the slightest difference in a tone.
Mhm.
We are so sensitive to tone.
Oh my god, the tone, dude.
Right? And it's like
Oof.
my biggest enemy because I don't want my kids to listen to a tone, but it's so hard not to understand that there's so much meaning behind tone.
There's so much nuance
And
to it. Mhm.
yeah, and that's why I'm like, hey, watch your tone.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like your tone is very telling of your attitude,
Yes. Yeah.
right? And people don't understand that. Body language, especially if you know the person, it's
Oh, big
super
time.
easy to pick up on body language,
Or like the
right? Like,
slightest my thing is like the slightest difference in the way that your eyes are either tracking or making eye contact with me, the slightest
mhm.
change in like duration of eye contact, like it just yeah, if I know you really really well, that is one of the things for me is I'm like, "Oh, you're looking kind of funny with those eyeballs. What's
Mhm.
going on?" And it would and somebody else would definitely not notice it. But
Yep.
it's just the slightest little things.
Here's a great example, and I'm not getting personal here. I'm going to keep it super high level. But there were several weeks where you and I weren't talking
Yeah,
because life was lifing.
right.
But I also know that like there was something going on your side and you weren't telling me,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And I knew that, but in my head, and this is the fucking wild thing, dude. I don't know why, but with somebody that I know has ADHD and knowing you, and maybe it's just because we've known each other for as long as we have, and my wife is going to be like, why can't you give me that grace? And I'm like, I'm
I'm
trying.
doing my best.
I'm trying. But it's, it's like, you know what? I'm going to hang back. There's a reason she's not reaching out. If there's something serious, like she'll get with me. Like, I know she will. I trust that there's that there. Like, and
Yeah.
again, time out. I know that I have that same trust with my wife. So don't anybody get into thinking
Oh,
some
you
weird
of
fucking
course.
ideas.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not that at all. It's just the neurodivergent connection
Mhm. We know each
of
other too
saying,
well.
yes, I know there's something there,
Mhm.
but I know I'm going to piss them off because they're not ready to tell me what it is yet because they're still processing or dealing
Mhm.
it or in action, right?
Mhm.
So it's like I'll fuck off until they don't want me to fuck off any longer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and I was right. Like
You were right.
it was spot on, you know?
And just so, there's no confusion, like we weren't in a fight, everything's good on my end. I had and then this will be very high level. I had a health scare. And I'm fine, but I wasn't sure if I was. And I thought there was a chance that I had um breast cancer. And I don't, and everything is wonderful. But it totally took me really inside of my head. And yeah, like I didn't reach out to you. I wasn't reaching out to really anybody.
Yeah.
Um I didn't tell Mr. Wiggins about it for like 3 days because I was like, I got to wrap my head around this. I don't need to upset the apple cart, you know. Let me process and make sure like my own brain is good. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's the full story. Everything is hunky dory good, which
Yeah.
God
And
bless.
really
I'm very
quickly,
grateful.
publicly apologize to use that as an example, but that's a real
No,
life
not at
example.
all, man.
And I want to give you massive kudos to talk about yourself in that kind of situation, because that is sensitive, and fuck yeah for everything coming back awesomely negative. And let's move on. So
fuck yeah. Absolutely.
From there, like, we sense those emotions, right? So
Yes.
we don't need to beat a dead horse, but like it is,
You just sense the changes.
how
and
we're built.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yep.
I love that. It does. It says we are literally built to notice what others don't. And this next bit says, and when you understand this about yourself, everything changes. You become the person who holds groups together. That impulsiveness becomes empathy in action. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
You build incredibly loyal friendships. And I think that is one thing about ADHD folks is the loyalty runs very deep. You're naturally drawn to causes that matter. And here we go. And in a crisis, you move fast and care deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just throw that spotlight right back on my two girls that were just instant by my side, ride or die, to figure out how I was going to be part-time at my parents' house and part-time here when I had a 6-month-old. It's the same shit.
I'm gonna throw it back deep, and I'm gonna throw the spotlight on you, actually.
Uh-oh.
Because I'm taking this one deep. This is like, what, 2017, when I shattered my neck.
Oh,
and
damn.
you came to Kernersville and spent the day with me to make sure I was all right, just spending time together and
Right.
and all of that. Like, you dropped everything you were doing, man,
I
and
forgot
come and
about
hung
that.
out and spent time with me. So yeah, you know,
about that.
it's true. There's life experiences there, and I know you've been for me there immediately in times of need, and I know I've been there for you in immediate times of need. And it's not
Dude,
just between you and
100%.
I.
Yeah.
You have your circle of friends you talk about, and I truly am rebuilding, man, to be honest with you, because I know how aggressively wild I was early on in life, right? Like, that can either have ride and dies, and people be like, oh, I only want to hang out with this dude, like, when I'm, wanting to have a good time, and or there's people like, all right, I know this person is not this, and like, they've actually moved on with their life, and they're trying to reestablish. So there are a lot of people like that too. So,
I think that's also because I think about myself in college and that kind of that era, and what a wild card I was at that time too. And I feel like there was this, I don't know if this was like the 90s culture of all the movies about like you go off to college and this is just the greatest time and you get to be who you want.
PCU.
PCU, bro. But I feel like there was this narrative that at least I like soaked up, like injected it into my veins, that I could go to college and reinvent myself and become a different version of me. And there was a lot of good and a lot of bad to that. Because I created a persona, which we've talked about masking. That was also a big mask. But man, like I think back on like just some things that I either did or said, or the way that I interacted with other people, certain people, that I'm just like, God, what the fuck? Like, why wasn't I struck by lightning? Like, I can't believe I ever had in my brain that it was okay to, I don't know, try to be this person, or trying on different like aspects of a different character. And I like, if anyone is listening from the college time, sorry.
Yeah, look at us collectively apologizing to college friends we haven't seen in ages and probably don't listen. That's so funny.
Totally, man. Like,
what a wild turn of events in this episode,
right?
Empathy shining through, accountability. I think that's another thing about ADHD because accountability, once you start truly becoming okay with yourself and
Yeah.
comfortable in your skin, people are like, man, why are you so hard on yourself? And it's like, there's a difference between hard, because yes, I'm very hard on myself, and then there's
Yeah.
a difference between holding myself accountable.
Yeah.
Like, I was wrong. I
There
was a
was a
loose
lot
cannon.
of shit. Yeah.
I
There was a lot
was
of shit that was
was
wrong for.
chasing I was doing nothing but chasing dopamine when I
Oh,
look back
dude.
at it.
Absolutely.
I was just chasing the next high, right?
Absolutely.
Not drugs, literal brain chemical high. And
Brain
I
highs.
got it from drinking alcohol, smoking weed, and partying and doing all the things. But
Yep.
here's what I'll also tell you in my adventures of life. Some of the most empathetic communities I've been a part of, I believe also have some of the highest percentage of ADHD people. The rafting community.
Oh, man.
Being a raft guide back in the day, right? I still have a buddy. I think he's still doing. I hadn't talked to him in ages. Again,
Zach?
I was a loose cannon. Yeah, Zach was probably like, thank God I got rid of that guy. I don't blame you, dude. If you're listening, sorry. Love you though, buddy. But yeah, like that community, right? Like, think about it, dude. A rafting guide, you're on a river, class 3, class 5 rapids, especially, these guys that were doing the Gully. They're doing some of the most challenging, some of the most chaotic water in the world, right? And you have to be calm under pressure the entire time, directing a boat of strangers, random people you've never met, except at 7 a.m. the morning of you putting them on a boat, who is signing your life away to saying, we're not holding this fucking guy responsible for our death. We're choosing to risk, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I say in that community, you have a high level of ADHD people because they're calm under pressure. They're calm under chaos. And that's why I really enjoyed it. And it's one of those things where it was a novelty for me. But dude, I was really fucking good at it and really enjoyed it. But I knew it wasn't necessarily my calling, even though, right?
Yeah.
And
it was definitely cut out for you at that time.
Yeah.
The chapter that you spent there was the right time, the right place, the right moment and calling for you, for sure.
Exactly. And so I love that community. Same thing. I was a wild card. I was still a wild card at that time. And when I was with the jam band, when I was with Anonymous, pre-big something, like, I was a wild card. I'd like to party, right? Had I taken that serious, I probably would have stayed with it long term. But, accountability, I wasn't taking it serious. There was a time I was taking it serious, but, that leads into that. My second community is the jam community. I think it's such a kind, thoughtful community, and people are like, oh man, I don't know. Well, if you look at the core jam people and who they're there for, what they're there for, and not the ones that are just going to take drugs.
Plenty of people give it a bad name.
Right. That's the difference. And I'm talking about the community that's there for community, and that's a big majority of it. Like, I can tell you, I've been to a bunch of Dead and Company shows. I've never had any issues at the shows and the bands that I'm going to these days. I've never had issues at, and it's just nothing but like chill ass people. So yeah, that's another one that I thought of as we're talking through this.
That's a good one. And I would totally agree with you about the not even the music community, but specifically the jam community. I've been chasing this music since, I don't know, I was in high school.
And chasing the music, I love
chasing the music, man.
Yeah, dude.
And I've only had one negative experience, and that was maybe like a couple. One was just like, we've all been around the just wasted people where you're like, give me a fucking break, guy. So like, you can't really count those. So I've really had one one negative experience, and that was like 2 summers ago when we went up to SPAC up in Saratoga to see Dave. And I won't go into it here because it's very not appropriate. And I'm not trying to go down that path. You and I can talk separately about that. But it is, man, like people are just there for the same reasons. They're seeking the same feelings and emotions, and people that you don't know at all and you'll never see again would give you the shirt off their back because it's, not to sound like super hippy dippy, but it's just all about love, man. It's all about love and connection and sharing space with the people who share the same joy.
Yeah.
And man, that kind of energy is just fiery contagious. It's so
contagious.
Good.
It's addictive. It's contagious.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good, right? Like, and my kids are growing into it, man. And I love it. They love the jam music. I wouldn't say love. They're starting to like it more and more. I told you little man likes the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But Little Miss is starting to like more like folk and jazz and things like that, which is really cool. So, dude, Wolfpack Radio for the win right now. It's crushing me. I'm loving it. Listen to it. Lettuce is heavy on Wolfpack Radio.
Oh, is it? Hell yeah. I like
huge,
some lettuce.
Dude. And I know you're a big lettuce fan. So if you're like lettuce, Victor Wooten's on there. It's so
fantastic. Well, and you just sent me Sam Greenberg?
No, Greenfield, I think.
Greenfield. Fuck, I love that.
Dude, that song is fire. Hold on, team. You know what we need to do?
What?
I'm going to try to start to do this today is set up a Spotify playlist.
Ooh, that's such a good idea.
We will put it on our link tree on Instagram. That way you guys can catch the vibes that we're listening to. That way when, it's summertime, we'll have summertime jams. We can do a summertime playlist. We can do a wintertime playlist. We can do whatever the fuck we're feeling playlist, right?
I'll try not to add too much Olivia Newton-John and Dave, but zero promises.
Dude, it's all right. I'll add some Dead in there. But my thing is, like, I always listen to other Dead songs. And, like, why are we listening to it again? I'm like, well, dude, it's May 8th, and May 8th is Cornell Day, and that's when they played the greatest live show ever known to mankind.
So, obviously.
I was at Cornell, and I was like, so you're going to listen to it 5 times today.
All day.
And if you cry about it, you're going to listen to it on May 9th as well.
That's right.
And maybe May 10th. And 11th.
Just keep it going.
I may have been listening to it for about a week now.
I love it.
I always listen to the album. Anyways, I digress. So we'll do the Spotify list. I've got that on my marker of things to do. I will not forget that because
I'm going to physically write it down.
Yeah, write that down.
Write that down.
Yeah, the music thing, man. It's so addictive. It's contagious as well, just like the community and the people. And I say that because it's always what brings people together. My son is on a lacrosse team. He was on a rec team. Dad heard I was into music, got his number. We've connected. Now I send him music, and he's like, dude, keep it coming. Like, I'm sure we'll get to a show together. And then I've got my buddy who I go to shows with. I've been to a lot of shows with too. Who I went to Dead and Company with and all. When we got to Vegas last year, we talked about it. It was like, dude, it was so awkward, like, getting there because it was like 2 dads who've never hung out, but we're friends because our kids are friends. Like, what are we doing? Like,
that's right. That was y'all's first show.
Yeah. It's like, we just know that we both like good live music.
Yeah.
And so, like, it ended up being an awesome time. Like, we had a great adventure. And, like, we came back and he's like, you know what? I've decided that you are my semi-retired degenerate friend. And I was like, dude, that couldn't be... Thank you, Officer Doofus, ready here for duty. Couldn't be more accurate. A semi-retired degenerate. When we think about what this conversation has been, is like being a wild card back in the day. Like, that's the semi-retired piece.
It feels pretty.
Right? That's the semi-retired.
I could wear that name tag. I could wear that name tag.
Yeah. I liked it. I wear it with a badge of honor when I talk to him. I'm like, well, what would the semi-retired degenerate do?
Yeah. Do it.
This. Yeah. And then I just do it. Yeah. So it's a good time, and it's nice having people like that in the circle. And so, like, call them the new dad, the trio of dads that go to live music, which I find hilarious. Here we are in life. But it's cool because, like, he likes the same type of music, and that's kind of where my connections are starting to kind of come into play
Yeah.
these days, right?
Well, it's funny too because like you, at least for me, like you can kind of think about how a lot of circles started because of music
Mm-hmm.
many, many, many years ago. And then here we are many, many, many years later with circles because of music. And you know,
And
I won't go super. Go ahead. What were you
all
gonna
I was
say?
going to say is how, and then keep going. How many episodes do we have that we haven't aired? And how many episodes have we brought up music in? Every single
Like
one.
it's got to be 100%. It has to. It's just
Yeah.
such a big part of
It is.
us.
It is.
You, me.
Yep.
Yeah. But one of my best girlfriends, I've told you about her. You met her at the Goose Show.
Yeah.
She and I live in the same neighborhood. We've lived in the same neighborhood for, I don't know, 8 years. And we were always at different like stages in life. Like she had kids before I did. I had a business. Our lives never really matched up to the point that we could, like, we knew we liked each other, but we could never really hang out just because life was what it was. And I remember like walking through the neighborhood on Halloween and walking through the neighborhood just with the dogs or whatever, and we would see each other. And one day we were both wearing something Dave Matthews, and we were like, okay, you're cool. And this was 2023. And again, not to get like super in the weeds of despair, but 2023 was a year. I lost my dad that year. We sold the business.
Yep.
I lost I've told you this before. 6 people in 18 months. It was tough. I had just said goodbye to a friend of mine. Like actually he was in the hospital. I'd gone to see him. I said goodbye to him. I came home that day and I was giving my daughter a bath, and my husband was, I think he was working at the shop, and I was giving my daughter a bath, and I was just crying. I was just crying in the bathroom with her in the bathtub, just splish splashing around. And my girlfriend, that we were not friends at the time, messaged me on Facebook just out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, I have an extra ticket to go see Dave Matthews in Charlottesville back-to-back nights in like 2 weeks. Do you want to go?" And I was like, what the fuck? I mean, yeah. But also, I don't know you. I don't know you. I'm in a really fucked up place in my life. I don't know if I can say yes. But I was just sitting there, and like I said, I was just crying. And I was like, I gotta do this. Like, it was like my dad was like nudging me, like, what the fuck? Like, pay attention. This is a sign from me, from the universe. Pay the fuck attention. Go. You gotta go. This is your lifeline. And so I said yes. And then she and I, like, we went on this 4-hour trip to Charlottesville, Virginia together to go see Dave for 2 nights. We didn't know each other than we both had kids and we both liked Dave and we lived in the same neighborhood. That was about it. And we were just like soul sisters by the time we arrived. Fuck, not even in Charlottesville. By the time we got to Virginia, to the state line, we were like, oh yes. And it became because of music, it became this forever friendship. Like, and she is a ride or die for me, and I'm a ride or die for her. And you know, it's just it's all because, and she's neurodivergent as fuck. Whether you know it or not, girl, you are. Like, if you're listening, yo, come on.
Sam's
And
my buddy.
Right? And it's
like,
just,
you're in the profession you are because of that.
put that microphone closer.
Oh yeah, Sam is my buddy. You're in a profession that you are, and you're really good at it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my little anecdotal story.
Man.
But look, there's one more slide on this. Let's close it out with this slide.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Hell yeah.
That's so
God,
funny.
look at these brains. Pow, 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 pow.
Bow, bow, bow.
So, ADHD Dizzle _ thank you. This is the last slide of this. It says, so if you are an ADHDer like me, stop trying to tone down your emotional sensitivity. Start seeing it for what it really is, your unfair advantage. The world desperately needs people who feel deeply and act on it. Oof, what a slide deck that was.
Dude.
That was just a PowerPoint. Just pew, pew. Fuck yeah, that was good.
So here's what that makes me think about. Ultimately, what this is saying, because this is what we call it as a joke to kind of make it a joke. But like, go ahead and fly your freak flag.
Fly it.
Because
Fly it, baby.
guess what? That freak flag says some weird, funny shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes weird, uncomfortable shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually let it fly, and this is advice for myself too, like big time, give in to wanting to do the things, right? Giving in to knowing that you feel like you should be stepping up to help.
Yes.
You know you want to. God, dude, I went to Louisiana during Hurricane Katrina on Red Cross for 2 weeks to help out.
Yeah.
Because of it. I was so compelled to do it, right? Like, it's inside of you. It's inside of me, and I've got to continue drawing it out. So let your freak flag fly and just be your authentic self when it comes to showing this unfair advantage.
And just enjoy yourself, because that's one thing that I have learned in the midlife stage is you said something earlier that just really, I don't know what the fuck you said. My brain won't remember that, but something you said was just about like appreciating who you are and being that's what it was, being okay with yourself. Like, for so long, and I don't think this is a neurodivergent exclusive experience. For so long, for so many years, you spend your time not being okay with yourself and trying to please others and trying to be somebody else or trying to live up to somebody else's expectations or what you think society wants you to be or whatever. And it takes a long time to be okay with yourself, like your actual self, like who you really are. And it's a pretty fucking rad thing when you reach that stage.
It
and
is.
you stop performing, and not to say like because masking is a part of ADHD, and masking is very performative. And in some capacity, I'm sure that will always be a part of my life, your life. But
unfortunately,
but I don't wear that mask like I used to. Like, that mask was always on back in the day, and it does. It takes a certain life experiences and a certain stage in life just to get to the point where you're like, fuck this. I don't need this mask. This is definitely who I am, and I'm very okay with it.
100%, man. I'll leave you with this. Started the episode with my niece's graduation. Ended with, well, my wife's niece's graduation.
Your niece.
And we had to there was this advice box at her party, and my advice to her was simplified just in the version of like, say yes to the things that you usually wouldn't that may bring you joy.
God, that's good. Put that on a fucking t-shirt. Let's do it.
Because something that I have to continue telling myself, and I'm not victim, I fall victim to it rather in my own mind, is at the end of the day, we can't take serious the things that you care deeply about. But outside of that, the rest of this life isn't that serious, right? Like, we don't know why we're here. We can't worry about that any longer. You have to believe in what you believe in, and just enjoy that we're spinning on this fucking ball of water, right? Like, not to
Amen,
get
dude.
hypothetical, you know,
Yeah.
or philosophical, so let's end it there. But
Yeah.
Wiggins, this has been a badass fucking
This is
episode,
great.
dude.
We should do this
I've
every
really
time. Let somebody
enjoyed
else
this.
create the content and we'll just fucking talk about it. This was good. ADH Dizzle, thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you, ADHD Dizzle. We're gonna start bringing more of our own content out again, guys. The hiatus is over. We're back.
That's right. We're back.
Guess who's back?
Back
All right, I'm
again.
done. Maybe we'll cue the music for that one. But until then, vibe up, helmet on, Wiggins.
Yes, sir. Vibe up, helmet on.
Well, that's it for another episode of Living Life with a Helmet. That was more excitement than I'm legally allowed to have before nap time. If you enjoyed this, follow these kids on Instagram at Life with a Helmet. Until next time, vibe up and helmet on. And for the love of God, let an old man nap.